needs, and I believe he will be found eligible.
All right, please raise your right hand. Solemnly swear from the testimony about to give this man be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right, and you heard the plea that your attorney placed on the record, correct?
Yes.
As to the amended charge of disturbing the peace, excuse me, much louder, sir.
Guilty.
All right, and you've gone over your rights and rights, correct?
Yes.
Is that yes? Do you have that rights and rights form, Mr. Goldpaw?
Yes, there should have been one there in the file.
I'm sorry?
There should have been one in the file.
Well, I understand that, but,
It was given to him.
okay, because it was, okay, well, that's the
I have it
problem.
out of
Hold on, please. The problem is that you wrote both case numbers on the same form. So, can we just give him a new form instead of making a copy of this one?
Misdemeanor, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then council, this will be the 1464 case number, so we'll make a copy of that one. Okay. All right, and sir, I know you're signing that form as to this case, but you've already gone over those rights with your attorney, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you understand all of those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand that by entering into a plea, you'll be waiving some of those rights, specifically your trial and appellate rights.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you also understand that you understand possible penalties as a result of your plea, whether in this court or any other court or administrative agency.
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing all that, you still want to continue with your plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Does anybody promise you anything, threaten you, or coerce you in any way for you to enter into a plea?
No, Your Honor.
Council, you can please go to your client.
Thank you. Mr. Liberty, back on June 15th of 2023, were you in the city of Wyandotte?
Yes.
And did there come a point in time when you were trying to fix a vehicle and the police arrived at the scene?
Yes.
And during that conversation with the Wyandotte Police Department, did there come a point in time where you became argumentative and you started to yell at them?
Yes.
And because of your activities, did the neighbors come out and start to listen to what was going on?
Yes.
And so you're disturbing the peace by your actions. And all the police were trying to do was to try to help you out, right?
That's correct.
And satisfied, Your Honor.
Okay, the court is also satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea to the amended plea, dismiss the original charge per the plea agreement, as well as the parking charge. Please. That is. No. Okay. We'll schedule this matter for sentencing. What's that? What's that, counsel?
I was just explaining to you again, 771.1.
Okay. And the court will set this matter for sentencing on September 26th at 10 a.m. And the court will indicate 771 eligibility upon review
I'm sorry, Your Honor, what time did you say?
at 10 a.m.
Thank you.
Yes, to bond counsel.
Your Honor, we're asking for personal bond in both of these matters. Mr. Liberty has accepted responsibility. He is presently unemployed. He's been looking for more work. He's a mechanic. He has no prior criminal record or research. Asking for personal bond. He's now accepted responsibility and will be back in court long before the sentencing to address those other matters, which are non-assaultive as well. I think it deals with a.
You're talking about the
The
1933?
the rubber case.
Yes. Well, sir, okay, well, when's the last time you were employed?
I mean, so I haven't worked in over a year because I was I work on wind turbines, like windmills.
Yes.
UC up north, and they took my license last year for a year because of 2 5-over speeding tickets.
Who took your license?
Nebraska and Kansas. They gave me 6 points each
For 5 over?
5 over speeding ticket, I swear to you, they tried to turn it, all I did was pass a lady on my way to work on a 1-lane highway in the country.
Hold on. So I'm going to presume that you were charged with reckless driving.
Reckless, just because I passed somebody out in the middle of the highway.
Hold on. Listen. I'm not gonna get into all of that because I'm not in Nebraska or Kansas. However, so your license was revoked or
Pretty
something?
much, for a whole year, yeah, and I haven't worked, so.
Okay,
They took my life. So whatever.
no, sir, they didn't take your
No, they
livelihood.
did.
Sir,
6
sir,
points.
sir, let me just clarify. The judge is not the one that behaved in the manner that you did, okay? Or a magistrate or whoever did that. So they didn't take your livelihood away. Let me just be very clear on that.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. It's fine. I know the judge didn't do it, but I don't know why 6 points is warranted over a 5 over speed ticket. That's all I'm saying. That's
You
why.
didn't get a 5 over speeding ticket. You were charged with reckless driving, clearly.
Yes,
Yes,
that stemmed from a 5 over speeding ticket for passing someone that was going
Okay.
under the speed limit.
I wasn't there, sir, and I'm not the Department of Motor Vehicles for Nebraska or Kansas.
Okay.
Is everybody okay upstairs?
No, they're on the roof fixing.
Oh, on the roof, okay. Okay. So that doesn't answer the question as to why you're not working while you're here.
Because I have no vehicle and I have nothing, so I have no vehicle, I had it's suspended twice now over this stuff.
Okay, so you can't walk to work?
No, I cannot,
Why not?
because I can't, because I'm a journeyman millwright and I don't walk to work. I make $52 an hour.
So walking to work
I
is
will not
beneath
walk
you?
to a, yes, it is, absolutely, I will not work a regular job, because I climb 2,800 feet a day. And I'm an elite worker, and I'm not gonna have some lady that called me in Kansas or Nebraska, ruin my life. So I'm waiting right now to get back to work and get a call from somebody, so. I will not work at a dollar store, no, absolutely not. It's beneath me, that's correct. I've worked my whole life
So,
to be a millwright.
okay,
I'm not a dollar store guy. No offense to anybody that does. I don't cut anybody's hustle. But I know that I'm a 7-year millwright journeyman. So I am.
no doubt, sir, that you worked hard to attain that status,
Yes, ma'am.
no doubt.
Yes.
However, you would rather,
Be broke than do that.
can you please not interrupt me?
Yes, absolutely.
You would rather not work
Yes.
and earn $0 rather than work somewhere and earn some money.
Correct. Because I will not be reduced, like I said, by some lady or man, whoever wanted to call me out there, and give me, and eventually turn it into a reckless and take my license for a year. So no, I will not. I will not settle for a regular job. Thank you. That's pretty much the last bit of the matter there for me. That's the last bit of rebuttal that I get after you. So I know I don't do
Okay, well, I'm not giving you any rebuttal because I'm going to indicate, sir, how do you support yourself?
How do I support myself? I'm gonna wait, so I guess I'm gonna wait it out, so I don't really care. What does it matter, I guess, is the question at this point.
What does,
In this matter, what does this matter in this matter, I guess, is my question, Your Honor.
well, sir, there are certain factors I have to take into consideration when assessing bond. And,
It's okay, whatever you want to do. However you, okay.
you asked me a question, you need to give me an opportunity to respond. So I need to assess how I'm going to set your bond, what conditions I'm going to set, if any. I cannot determine all that without having all the information. So I find it's relevant, I'm asking you those questions. You're indicating you've worked in Nebraska, or you've lived and worked in Nebraska and Kansas. Okay, so then I need to make sure that you have some ties sufficiently here in the state of Michigan that is going to give me confidence that you're going to be returning to court.
I'm from Trenton my whole life, so, and I'm always here, so. For now,
except when you're in Nebraska and Kansas, or coast to coast. So that's my question. How long have you been back here?
I don't know, X amount of months. Trust me, I'll be here. I don't want to warn in my home state that I've lived in my whole life, where I come back after every job. So, every 6 weeks, we get an R&R. So we work about 100 hours a week.
How long have you been back in Michigan?
Long time, 6 months now. Just about, since all this suspension stuff happened. But no, at this point, it's hard to get a regular job when you've seen top of the world, basically.
Well, you can't work for,
I'm a king. I'm a king. So I do my job, and that's it.
what does the king mean? What does that mean?
A king means that I'm the 1% in the whole world that climbed wind turbines in this whole world. So and I will stay and remain king.
King or Kane?
King, gut. King,
P-I-N-G.
king, a king. A king. Because I'm a Napoleon. You know the Napoleons from Trenton too? That's another reason. We work hard our whole lane. You know them?
I know the name.
Yeah, masons, brick masons,
Okay.
break our back. I've had 2 back surgeries. I'm not going back to something regular. And now I know that I'm an elite level climber, elite level worker. I will not go back to something regular. It just is what it is. But I promise you, I ain't gonna leave this thing unless it's for work. And if I have to be back on the 26th, I'm here. On the 25th.
Again, sir, how do you afford to feed yourself, or how do you afford rent? Who do
I
you
mean, I
live
have
with?
an EBT at this point. At this point, I've gotten the EBT card. And it's fucking embarrassing.
Okay,
It's
first of all, you're on the record.
embarrassing, sorry.
So,
I guess, I don't know, maybe I have to.
Let me get this straight.
Man, I'm gonna get a job.
you're in the elite 1%,
I don't care. That's great.
and now you're too good to work anywhere else.
Yes, that's correct.
But you're going to have the state pay for your food.
Yes, because I've never collected unemployment one time, in 7 years. That's why.
So, sir, is there not, excuse me, is there not a union in the state of Michigan that you can work for that does
No.
the same type of work that you do?
No, because they're peons. That's what it is, because they don't do nothing. They give us 30 hours at a union millwright job in Port Huron, 30 hours. I don't do that. I do 106 hours.
Yeah, well,
I don't
sir,
have lunch breaks and brunch breaks as a grown man, and the union has no protection. So if I'm gonna work somewhere, I'd rather have protection. All these Ford guys, not my uncle, was I guess I call my uncle, my mom's cousin. He worked at Ford truck plant, and he's been laid off like 10 times, so. I don't work for the union. No.
okay. Well, here's what the court's going to do. Well, first I'm gonna ask you, if you were to test today, what's in your system?
0, nothing. Weed, I smoke a lot of weed, that's about it. And I've been a patient since 2015.
So do you have a medical marijuana card?
No, I don't, and I don't need one right now.
Okay.
So that's other cops when they stop me.
I don't even know what to say about your behavior. Sir, your behavior is so outrageous, it's unbelievable.
But how? I'm just.
You're saying nothing's in your system, then you're saying that there's weed, and you've been a patient, and you don't need a medical marijuana card. Let me tell you what you're going to do. You're going to be submitting 30 job applications because you're not going to be unemployed.
Okay,
You are also going to go on job interviews if you're called. You're also going to not smoke marijuana since you do not have a valid medical marijuana card right now.
no, I will, because I'm allowed to in the state of Michigan, ma'am, am I not? Am I not?
Sir, you're also allowed to use alcohol, and as a condition of your bond, you are not to use any alcohol or drugs that are not prescribed. How about that?
Okay.
You don't have any alcohol prescribed, you don't have any marijuana prescribed, right?
Yep, I guess so.
And
This is not even a weed case, but I don't know what we're.
Okay, listen to the judge, please.
I am, but I guess I'm getting thrown to the ringer here or something. Yes. I don't know how I can't smoke weed in the state of Michigan, it's legal. As long as I'm not driving a vehicle, right? I'm just a question, right?
Sir,
Whatever you want me to do, I guess. So I'll get a list of reading for this. Sure, how long probation is. Laughed at, sir. No, am I just getting laughed at?
you are not.
Like,
I am actually finding it unbelievable that you do not know when to stop talking. And your comments that you're making, sir, your comments are laughable. I'm not saying you're laughable, your comments that you're making are laughable. Your thought process is laughable at this point with what you're stating to this court.
It's not my fault, I'm not working, sir.
No, sir, it is your fault. You're choosing to not get employed anywhere. You're choosing to not go work anywhere because it's beneath you. No, you don't need to say anything else. Nothing else. You never know when you're going to get called in for testing, sir, so make sure you're not using any more marijuana.
Okay.
And if you need it for medicinal purposes, then you need to have a prescription submitted by your treating physician, somebody that you have a doctor-patient relationship with.
Two back surgeries, by the way. Just wanted to let you know. Before the
You indicated that, so I said no more talking. There's nothing else I need to hear from you at this point. You need to submit into the probation department or actually into the 27th district court via email, or you can drop it off. Since you're not working, you have time to drop it off, I presume. Proof of where you applied, how you applied, what position it was for. You have to submit those by every Monday for the week, the preceding week.
Good. Thank you.
Anything else, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
Sir, you can stop at the window to get the email address for the court, and then you have to stop over probation to get interviewed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Good.